Good morning, Bill.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing well. You find yourself in a spot that you haven't been in during your time here at 1-5. How do you turn this thing around?
Yeah, no, just keep working at it. I think it's just no shortcut. It's just got to keep working at it.
Bill, when you look at your team, it's always like, about you've always said this before, putting the guy in the best possible position to help you win football games. When you're making that decision at every position, what are you looking at? And do you feel like maybe that's a decision that you guys might feel like you have to make at the quarterback to see if you can maybe change some of the momentum?
Well, I mean, we're always looking to, do everything we can to try to, like you said, put the team in the best position. That's the coach's job, is to put the players in a position where they have a chance to win. And, we'll do all we can to do that. That's our job.
Bill, I know you said after the game that you guys have a lot of people injured. When asked about making Malik the backup, is it your plan to keep him there next week against the Bills?
Yeah, we'll deal with next week. We'll just finish the game here and, kind of make our decisions on next week, at a later point in time, not right this minute.
Bill, when you look at the games, these, obviously past couple of weeks, and we've talked about this before with Mac and his performance, and yesterday he had another, kind of bad decision-making situation where he threw on the run kind of across his body to an interception. What are the conversations that you're having with him for him to try to make sure he's taking care of the football? It seems like he's been making these mistakes. Is he trying to do too much?
I don't think it's too much. I think it's just, on that play, it just, wasn't a good throw. He scrambled out of the pocket, Hunter was open, and it just didn't make a good throw. So I think he's more than capable of making that. But
Bill, do you feel like this roster is reflective when it comes to the record, a 1-5 team? Is this a 1-5 roster in your mind?
yeah, well, the record is what it is, so I'm not gonna use the Bill Parcells quote on that one.
Bill, a bright spot for the team yesterday was Ramondre and Zeke, who were able to get in the end zone. Did you see an improvement when it came to your running game, and how did that build upon the past couple of games?
Yeah, there were some things that were better in the running game, for sure. Just better offensively. We had, 2 long drives. Three drives over 70 yards, had a 70-yard touchdown called back. So there were some positive moments there, but not enough of them.
Bill, when you look at the team and the situation you're in, how important is it for you? And how, I guess the question is how do you go about making sure guys don't get to a position where their body language or just mentally they kind of start to check out a little bit because they feel like there might be no light at the end of the tunnel? How do you make sure as a coach that you don't let that creep into your locker room?
We would have had every opportunity to do that this week after the last 2 weeks. I thought the team, had a decent week of practice, worked hard, competed hard in the game. We just didn't make enough plays to win, and we got to coach and play better, keep working harder to, make those plays, execute them in practice, execute them in the game, and we'll have better results.
I think it was 2009 when you famously said to Tom Brady, and I'm paraphrasing here, that you couldn't get through to those guys. Do you feel like you're able to get through to these guys, to this team, with your message?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. two different teams. I don't really see it the same.
Does it feel like in the locker room that the guys still have confidence within each other? We talk about it a lot with Wiggy when it comes to defense and offense, and sometimes the defense feels like they could be putting in more work than the offense or vice versa. How do you make sure that they continue to have confidence within each other and kind of drown out the outside noise?
Yeah, well, there's no shortcut to it. Like I said, we all have to do it, and if we do, then we'll have better results. I think we saw some improvement this week, but still, a lot more we need to do, and that's what we'll keep working on.
This week's Diesel Direct Player of the Game is Kendrick Bourne. A little bit about what he brought you yesterday, Bill.
Yeah, KB's done a good job for us all year, not just yesterday, but getting open and with the ball in his hands after the catch. He showed some good run skills, and his ball security's been much better this year. He's worked hard all year from the spring through training camp and is putting together a productive season.
Time for the Coach's Verdict, which is presented every week by Catches Law Group, New England's injury pros at catcheslaw.com. Catches is proud to be the official law firm of the New England Patriots.
Bill, we're now in the fourth season since the separation from Tom Brady, and I'm just curious if you think it's time to reevaluate your offensive roster-building approach in the absence of a historically great quarterback.
Well, so it's always been to do what's best for the team and to build around whoever the quarterback is. We've had multiple quarterbacks, even though Tom was the quarterback, but then there were years when, he wasn't either for a period of time or, there were a couple different situations. We know what those were. So, yeah, it all starts with the quarterback on offense and building around him, whoever that is. But I think you always got to try to put the best team together you can, and that's what we'll continue to do. So, obviously the results aren't what we want, but we're going to keep working at it.
Bill, when you look at your team, I always talk about, I remember when I was playing, one of the guys in the locker room that, was a major leader for us and kind of had that message of living in the moment, one play at a time, and kind of keeping us all in check was a guy like Willie McGinnis, Willie Mack. When you look at the team, do you feel like that you have that guy in the locker room that has this ability to be respected, but also at times you can look at him and you could be, you're feared by this player because of the way he carries himself and the way he works? Do you feel like there's a player in that locker room that can, carry that same type of kind of like je ne sais quoi?
What?
Wiggy with a little French there,
a couple
Bill.
Years of French. Yeah, as you know, Wiggy, every player is different. Every player's personality is different. Players have different, ways of messaging and having leadership and certainly different leadership styles and many different ones that can be effective. I think we have had some great leaders in our locker room, like McCourty and Willie and Brewski and Slater, Brian Coxman, who played, but they all have different styles. So I think you can be effective in your own, if you're yourself, you're sincere, you're your own personality. I think that's more effective than, trying to be somebody else. So, I think we have good leadership on our team and in the locker room. In the end, we really have to just find a way to play better and make the plays that we need to make, in critical situations in the game. And that's been 3 games this year where we just haven't been able to do that. So, well, like I said, we'll just have to keep working on it.
Bill, you've been doing this for a long time. Wiggy is a first-time head coach. You both have the same record right now, 1-5. I'm wondering if you could give him any advice.
Well, I'll take advice from him. No.
Bill, like you, there's a few mistakes here and there. If we just execute, our record would be different. So I understand completely what you're saying about the execution.
Well, we just, again, each week's different, and different opponent and different things that they do and different matchups and all that. So it changes every week. It's not just the same thing, but it's being able to execute it against the matchup that you have that week and the situations that come up. And that's what we prepare for, and that's what we're going to continue to do and try to keep doing it better.
Bill, Kayshon Boutte, a healthy scratch for the 5th week in a row. What's going on with him?
Yeah, well, we can't activate everybody. So.
Bill, as you turn the page to the Bills, across the board, a good team there, coming off a tough win for them. What's their biggest threat that you guys have to face?
Well, I mean, they're a good team that won the division here. They're pretty good at everything. So take a good, solid, team performance, team effort, and they're, like I said, they're strong in every area. Well coached. They can, great quarterback. Sean's taken over the defense, and they create a lot of negative plays on defense. So they're strong in the kicking game. So it'll be a good challenge for us, good opportunity. Getting a team that we know well, that we are going to have a great week of preparation and play mistake-free football.
All right, Bill, we will let you get back to work. Thanks for taking the time this morning.
Great. Okay. Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it. Talk to you next week.
All right. That is Bill Belichick on a Patriots Monday.